Mount Fuji, standing at an imposing height of 3,776 meters, 12,389 feet, is not only Japan's tallest mountain but also one of the most iconic and revered natural landmarks in the world. Its symmetrical cone, crowned with snow during the colder months, and its place in the cultural fabric of Japan make it a symbol of beauty, serenity, and spiritual significance. Millions of people from across the globe journey to see this majestic peak, drawn by its ethereal beauty and the promise of a peaceful, meditative experience. But beneath the surface of this picturesque landscape lies a darker, more haunting side to Mount Fuji, one that many are unaware of, but few dare to ignore. The mountain has a long history of strange occurrences, tragic events, and disturbing tales that stretch back centuries, making it a place of both wonder and fear. One of the most chilling aspects of Mount Fuji's dark legacy is the Aokigahara Forest, a dense, eerie expanse that sits at the foot of the mountain. This forest, often referred to as the suicide forest, has gained worldwide notoriety due to its association with death. The labyrinthine nature of the woods, with its thick undergrowth and tangled trees, creates an atmosphere of profound isolation. Aokigahara is quiet, unnervingly so. There is almost no wildlife to be heard, and the forest floor is often covered in a thick, suffocating silence. This oppressive stillness has long been a backdrop to stories of people who have entered the forest never to return. For decades, it has been a place where individuals, feeling lost and disconnected from the world, have gone to take their lives. The high rate of suicides in the area has given the forest a sinister reputation, and some believe it is the very trees that bear the souls of the departed. Locals speak of a powerful curse that pervades Aokigahara, a curse that ensnares anyone who ventures too deep within its confines, leading them to lose all sense of direction and abandon their search for escape. The forest is not only a place of physical death, but it is believed by many to be spiritually charged. In Japanese folklore, Aokigahara is thought to be a realm where vengeful spirits, or eerie, reside. These restless souls, often the spirits of those who met untimely deaths, are said to haunt the forest, adding to its sense of foreboding. Some say the trees themselves are alive with the energy of these lost souls, and that visitors may hear whispers or feel an oppressive weight on their chest as they walk deeper into the woods. Over the years, numerous visitors have reported feeling disoriented, as if they were being led away from the path, unable to find their way back. The presence of abandoned belongings scattered throughout the forest, such as old shoes or discarded items, further reinforces the haunting nature of Aokigahara, leaving behind a reminder of the lives that were lost there. But the Aokigahara forest is only one part of Mount Fuji's dark story. The mountain itself has been a revered spiritual site for centuries, with a deep connection to Japan's religious and cultural traditions. In ancient times, Mount Fuji was considered a sacred mountain, believed to house powerful gods and spirits. Pilgrims have long made the journey to its summit to pray and seek blessings from the gods. However, Mount Fuji's role as a sacred site has not always been purely peaceful. There are whispers in the history of Japan of ritual sacrifices being made to appease the gods of the mountain, especially during times of famine, war, or disaster. The idea that human life could be offered to the mountain in exchange for divine favor is a dark part of its past that remains embedded in the legends and stories that surround it. In addition to the eerie presence of Aokigahara, Mount Fuji itself is home to strange, unexplained phenomena that only add to its mystique. One of the most famous of these phenomena is the appearance of the devil's footprints. These mysterious marks, often described as deep impressions in the volcanic rock of the mountain slopes, seem to appear without warning. They are said to vanish just as suddenly as they appear, leaving no trace behind. Some locals believe that these markings are the work of supernatural forces, perhaps the footprints of a demonic entity or a spirit that walks the slopes of the mountain. Others believe they are a manifestation of the mountain's own powerful, unseen energy, the result of forces that cannot be explained by science or reason. Whatever the cause, the devil's footprints remain a chilling reminder that Mount Fuji is not simply a natural wonder but a place where the boundaries between the physical world and the spirit world are blurred. As if these mysteries weren't enough, Mount Fuji also holds several volcanic craters, some of which remain largely unexplored due to their inaccessibility and the danger they pose. These craters are located in remote areas of the mountain, far from the popular tourist routes. According to local legends, these craters are more than just geological formations. They are believed to be the resting places of powerful, ancient spirits. The dark energy surrounding these craters is thought to be a powerful force, capable of overwhelming anyone who dares to approach. Some of the stories tell of climbers and explorers who, drawn by curiosity, have ventured into these hidden craters, only to vanish without a trace, leaving behind only their eerie last sightings. The belief that the spirits of Mount Fuji dwell within these craters gives the mountain an air of malevolence, as if it is actively guarding its secrets from prying eyes. Then, there is the legend of the ghostly woman who haunts the summit of Mount Fuji. This tale is one of the most well-known ghost stories associated with the mountain. Climbers attempting to reach the peak of Mount Fuji have often spoken of encountering an old woman who appears out of nowhere as they approach the summit. She is said to be dressed in traditional Japanese clothing, with a veil covering her face, her presence both unsettling and ethereal. The woman is said to speak softly, warning climbers to turn back before it's too late. Those who ignore her warning are said to face certain doom, often meeting an untimely death on the mountain or disappearing mysteriously. Some believe that she is a spirit of the mountain itself, one that has taken on a human form to guide the living away from danger. Others believe she is a manifestation of the many lost souls who have perished on the mountain, doomed to repeat their warnings to anyone who dares to climb to the top. Despite the many chilling stories and unexplained events surrounding Mount Fuji, it remains one of the most beloved natural landmarks in the world. It is a place of pilgrimage for many, a location of inspiration for artists, and a symbol of Japan's spiritual and cultural heritage. Yet, for all its beauty and reverence, there is an undeniable presence of something darker beneath the surface. Mount Fuji is not just a mountain, it is a living, breathing entity, a force that commands both awe and fear. Whether through the tragedy of Aokigahara, the mysterious disappearances in its volcanic craters, or the ghostly apparitions that haunt its peak, Mount Fuji reminds us that even the most majestic of places can hold secrets that remain hidden, waiting to be uncovered by those who dare to look too closely. In the end, Mount Fuji's true nature may never be fully understood. The combination of its towering presence, its sacred status, and the dark legends that have been passed down through generations creates an atmosphere of both reverence and fear. It is a place where the line between the living and the dead seems to blur, and where the stories of those who have ventured too far or too deeply remain etched into the mountain's history. Whether you are drawn to its summit by the beauty of the landscape or by the allure of its mysterious secrets, one thing is certain. Mount Fuji is a place where the supernatural and the natural exist side by side, and where the mountain